Hi guys, today I'm gonna talk to you about Hungarian culture, mainly about Húsvét, which is Easter. I'm gonna talk to you in English, but I will highlight a lot of Hungarian expressions. I will analyze sentences, even poems. And basically, what do I mean about culture? For me, it's like the small things. So I don't really like these textbook descriptions about a culture, or like when you read a tour book and these are the monuments you need to see. The Hungarians eat sausages, kolbász, and szalonna, which is kind of like a bacon, and so on. It's like, it's not true, it's too generalized. What I want to tell you when I speak about Hungarian culture is my perspective, yeah? So, for example, small thing. In my life, I think the gulyás leves, the goulash soups that I ate in my life, 80% of that was from pork, sertés, as opposed to marha, which is beef, yeah? Many Hungarian families do this at home. So pork is much more available and cheaper, so we eat more. In Hungary, we eat a lot of chickens and pork and much less beef. But everybody knows that a real goulash should be from beef. So if you go to a restaurant, you will have a beef goulash, which is really nice. And we also do that sometimes at home. But many times when you are at home in a normal Wednesday evening and you make gulyás leves, then it's much more likely that you will make it from pork, sertés. So just small things like that. And of course, I mentioned that I will give my perspectives, yeah, because you can't see an average Hungarian eat this or that or do that, because you can see a wide range of people, yeah? So maybe another Hungarian listening to this video and they're like, what the heck is he talking about, this pork thing? In all my life I ate it from beef, and that's how it should be. So I will not gonna lie to you, I will just tell my perspective and maybe what I see in my surroundings. Of course, your economic class and everything influences that, but yeah, I will just give my take on things. So this video is an experiment for Patreon. I just started it and I want to keep it simple and easy. So I have other videos when I spend a lot of time with editing and making it really nice and easy to understand, and I would like to do that. But I realized with my life and with my work, not all the time I have time for that. So basically, I will just make simple videos for you guys, where I do things that I'm interested in and I think you might benefit from that. And maybe not over edit it. So now I'm rambling for a while, so you see what I mean. About these Patreon videos, so I will put videos on YouTube, that's my plan, which will be free, so everybody on my YouTube channel and also from Patreon can access that, and it will be about maybe one day I have the mood to speak in English and tell about cultural things, just like today, yeah? Maybe another day, másik nap, maybe I will speak in Hungarian about something, so for more advanced students can listen to that, and also beginners. So you can always improve your listening comprehension even if you don't understand something. And maybe I will give you a transcript, yeah? Maybe in a third occasion, third day, harmadik nap, perhaps I will dissect sentences for you. So I'll show how a Hungarian sentence builds up. And so on. I will have a lot of ideas, and I will want to keep it simple and just experiment. And maybe later I will, if I see that I really enjoy one or two or another idea or structure, maybe I will stick to that, yeah? And in the comments, please let me know if you found it useful or awful, yeah? Okay, so the videos will be available on my YouTube channel. You can see the link here. Also my Patreon. And on the Patreon, I will just quickly tell you, so at the beginning I have three type of packages there. One with the supporter who helps me make more YouTube videos, because like I said, it takes time to make a good video, and I want to make more, but also my work and other duties interfere. So if you just want to help me with that, I made a basic package for that, and I made 2 other packages where you will get more and more goodies. Yeah, I still haven't figured it out yet. So I'm thinking about like flashcards with audio, quizzes, audio recording, exercises, and so on. So I have ideas, but I don't want to overcomplicate it at the beginnings. So what I will do that for the basic, the cheapest package, I will put these extra things, which I don't know what is it yet. So first I do this video, and then I will brainstorm and come up with some goodies and put it in the cheapest package. So at the beginning, there will be no distinction between the other groups, among the groups. And later, I will do that the cheapest will be just the normal supporter one. For the videos I make free for everyone. And the other 2 will have other goodies. But at the beginning, you can try it now. So this is like 2024, April 4. Yeah. So let's get into what we really want to hear about, like the culture and the Hungarian language. Yeah. Húsvét, Easter. So literally it means taking away meat. So hús is meat, vét is, we don't really use it, but in this compound word, it means taking away. Yeah. But it's more important, what do we eat around Easter time. So, for example, smoked cooked ham, which is füstölt főtt sonka. Yeah, so sonka is ham, főtt is cooked, and füstölt is smoked. So füst, just the stem, you can see it here. So füst is smoke, füstöl to smoke. But don't mistake it with like smoking a cigarette, that's dohányzik, yeah? So we don't really use füstöl. And then füstölt is smoked, yeah? Basically, we buy the smoked ham in the stores, and then at home we cook it, and that's how we make it, yeah? And we also eat főtt tojás, which is boiled egg. Literally, it means cooked egg, yeah? Usually we cook this egg in the juice or the water that we used for the ham. Yeah, so it gives it some kind of flavor, and it's really nice. Yeah, so it looks like this. What I see, it's kind of like a store-bought ham. So it's not that there's another color for if it's like homemade ham. So you can see that it's store-bought, and then they cooked it. Yeah, so that's how. Yeah, and this is really like from the slaughterhouse. I mean, it's like really see it's processed. It's not really nice for me. My aunt really makes a good one. For example, this one is much better. I can see the color that this one is like a homemade one, and it's good one. Yeah, so it's not with a lot of preservatives and other stuff. It's like more homemade. Okay, so that's what we eat, but it's more what's more important, what do we do at not Christmas, at Easter. So basically what we do, it's an odd custom, and it's a really weird and funny custom, what we call locsolkodás. So locsol is to water, like water plants and flowers. And what we do that back then in the old days, and still in the countryside, people might do this, that the men went and visited their female relatives and sometimes their female neighbors and friends, and they knocked on the door and they called them out, and they chased the women and the girls with a bucket of water, and they splashed them. I mean, no, I know it's crazy, but that's what they did. And then they got like painted eggs from the girls usually. Nowadays what happens, especially in a city like I live in Budapest, that I go and I just visit my female relatives, and I go there with my father, and also now I have a little brother. That's what we did in Monday, hétfő. It always happens in Easter Monday, so Húsvét hétfő. And what we do is we go there, visit the family members, we go in, and then we say a watering poem, locsoló vers. You can see it here. So locsol is to water, locsoló, vers is like watering poem. Yes, so vers is poem. There's a really similar word. So locsoló kanna is basically a watering can, but I just wanted to show you. So it also means that. Or locsoló also means the waterer person. But back to the story. So basically, you go there and you tell a poem. Usually, these poems are funny most of the times. And the last line, usually you have some way of asking permission to may I water you, so in some way. And then they say, of course you can. And you brought with yourself some female cologne, perfume, yeah, kölni or parfüm. And you just water them with that, right? So spray them with that, usually on the hair. Some of them hate it, so they say, oh no, not again my hair. So usually they just offer their wrist and you spray it on them. And then in exchange, they will give you like chocolate eggs or if you are a kid, or other kind of sweets. And also, if you are a kid, money. I got a lot of money when I was a kid, yeah? So that's what you do, usually with your relatives, or that's what I do. But, for example, if you have co-workers or girlfriend or friends, you also water them. And in this case, usually you can say some cheeky poems. So usually they are filled sexually. Of course, you don't say them to your relatives, but for example, the other day I just watered a friend of mine, a girl, and I said a sexually filled poem, and it's funny. So in Hungary, we don't really like overreact this kind of thing. Everybody laughs and it's just a joke, yeah? So that's how it is. And I will show you these poems today as well. So locsolás, locsolkodás is the noun, the act of or tradition of visiting female relatives, friends, neighbor, and watering them, yeah? So locsolás is also good for when you water the plant, yeah? As a noun. Locsolkodás is only good for this tradition. So first, I will show you the most famous watering poem, locsoló vers. Everybody knows this. So usually you prepare and you may write a new poem, or you just come up with something that or you will use something that you heard. Or usually I go on websites. There are websites that show you watering poems, locsoló vers, and I will just pick something funny. Yeah. But if you don't know, everybody knows this. Yeah. So if you are a Hungarian, you will know this. Zöld erdőben jártam, kék ibolyát láttam, el akart hervadni, szabad-e locsolni? So I've been in a green forest, yeah? I saw a blue violet, it wanted to wither, may I water you? So let's dissect this. So I just looked at this with my students, and usually when we do a translating exercise, I make them say in Hungarian, if they don't know word, to ask me, what does erdő mean? Which would be, mit jelent az, hogy erdő? Yeah? So this is a really useful phrase for you if you work with a teacher or a friend or just visiting Hungary. And you may know good grammar and you know how to express yourself, but or understand what the other person say, but you may not know a word, and that's what you should ask. Yeah? Mit jelent az, hogy erdő? What does erdő mean? Yeah? So erdő means forest. Yeah? Zöld is green. Erdőben is in forest. Yeah? And jártam is I've been to in this case. Yeah, well, I've been. But what is jár? So jár is weird a bit because I will put it to the next page. So jár has two separate meanings. So jár means to go, but to go somewhere regularly, yeah? So you need to know the distinction between jár and megy, yeah? Because both of them means to go. So to go somewhere regularly. Iskolába járok. I go to school, yeah? Or a Spárba járok vásárolni. I usually go to shop in Spár. As opposed to, elmegyek a Spárba vásárolni. I go to Spár to shop, yeah? It's about one occasion. So if you use megy, it's about one occasion. But if you go somewhere regularly, like I go to school, I attend school, I'm a person who is a student who is going to school, then I will say jár. And also if I regularly go to Spár, because that's what I do, then you should use jár as opposed to megy, yeah? And it also means to be in somewhere, yeah? So for example, jártam már Budapesten, it means I've been to Budapest, and it's interchangeable, totally good to say voltam. So voltam is was or I've been, yeah? In English you can translate it in many ways, or you can use jártam. Both of them mean the same thing, yeah? So jártam már Budapesten, voltam már Budapesten. So jártam már Budapesten doesn't mean that I was walking in Budapest, no? So, or anything, I've been to Budapest, or, yeah, so voltam már, or jártam már, yeah? And you can also omit már, it usually goes together, so jártam már, voltam már, már is already, but you don't really say that in English, but you can say voltam Budapesten, jártam Budapesten, but usually better to provide már, yeah? And the other words, so if we go back, so, ki-ibolyát láttam, el akart hervadni, szabad elocsolni, yeah? So, ibolya is violet, the flower, or also the name. In this case, you would say, write it with a capital. Lát is to see, láttam is I saw, akart is it wanted, so akar is the stem, yeah? And if you say it like indefinite past tense conjugation, it will be it wanted, yeah? And elhervad is to wither, yeah? When a flower like dries out and dies, yeah? That's elhervad. And el is a prefix, yeah? So I'm not going to the prefix part now, but prefixes can modify the meaning of a verb, sometimes slightly, sometimes a lot. In this case, it's kind of like a finishment prefix, which is really hard to teach. In the future, I will get into it more, yeah? But what you need to see, like I said, we're not going to the meaning now more, but what you can see that sometimes modal verbs like akar, to want, wedges between the prefix and the stem, the verb stem, yeah? So el akart hervadni, yeah? So even though el and hervad belongs together, sometimes modal verbs separate them, or sometimes also if it's a negation, yeah? So nem hervadt el, so if I write down, I will write down for you this one. So nem hervad el. So before I said with the to, but now it's just present tense, yeah? So nem hervad el, so it doesn't wither, yeah? So for example, here again, nem made them separate and switch places, yeah? So elhervad is the verb, but in this case they switch places, yeah? It's more complicated, so we will not go into that now. And szabad usually means free, but it's also modal verb to may, to be allowed, yeah? So if we go back here, so like I said, the last line usually, not all the time, but usually is about asking permission. So may I bother you? Yeah. So what do we see here? So if you don't use a, so a is whether or if. Yeah. So it's like yes or no. Not about yes or no. It's more about like I'll show you. Sorry, I'm a bit rebel. I know. So is whether, if, yeah? So elmegy a buliba, he goes to the party, yeah? Nem tudom, elmegy-e a buliba. I don't know whether he'll go to the party, or I don't know if he'll go to the party, yeah? So in this case, it represents whether, yeah? And you need to have a little bit of stop, just a little bit of pause, yeah? So nem tudom, elmegy-e a buliba. Yeah, so if you see that, it will be whether or if, yeah. And szabad, so you can omit szabad so you can say szabad locsolni. It makes it just in general, but if you say with it makes like Usually in Hungarian, if you want to be more and more polite, it's more and more conditional, yeah? So if you just state something that I voted you, it's not polite because I'm not asking permission. But am I allowed to vote you? Or with this as like whether or if I am allowed to vote you. So it's if you make it more and more like conditional, that you give the other person room to say no and the possibility, then it's more and more polite. Yeah. So szabad-e locsolni? That's what it is. Yeah. So this is the most famous poem. Okay. Do I want it to say anything else? I have my notes here, so we will see. But yeah, basically this, yeah. The next one is a cheeky sexually filled poem, so if you're not like that, then please skip this. Maybe I will put a timestamp on the video. Okay, so lábam között két tojás, pirosra van festve, hogyha azzal meglocsollak, elmehetsz hádgyesre. So what's happening here? 2 eggs between my legs, they are painted red. If I water you with that, well, you can or may go to maternity leave. Yeah? So it's funny in Hungarian because it rhymes. Tojá or festve gyesre. So tojás and locsolak are not rhyme or doesn't rhyme, but don't rhyme, yeah, but festve and gyesre rhymes. Okay, so what happens here? So között is between, láb is leg or foot. In this case, I translate it to leg. Yeah, lábam is my leg, so it's not plural, but in English you would say it in plural. So between my legs. Yeah, you wouldn't say between my leg. Yeah. Fest is to paint. Oh, so két is 2 and tojás is egg. So 2 in Hungarian it's either két or kettő, but if you put in front of a noun the word 2, then usually it should be két. Yeah, so you can say kettő tojás, but better to say két. But if you just say the number 2, then you just say kettő and don't say két. Yeah. So between my legs, two eggs, yeah. So this között or any other things that refer to the direction to something, for example, behind me, or not behind, so behind the tree, a fa mögött, yeah. So for example, that I just write down for you. So, because I know it causes trouble for students or anybody who wants to speak Hungarian, that you see a word like között or mögött. Mögött is behind, yeah, and a fa mögött, so behind the tree. So basically, you put this word behind, or not because it's behind, but just because it refers to a direction, yeah, or a place behind or after the word that you refer to, yeah. So a fa mögött, behind the tree, yeah, the same. So if you want to say a két fa között, a két fa között, so between the 2 trees, yeah, and we just use it with singular, yeah. So if you use any kind of quantity before a noun, then it will stay singular, even though we speak about 2 trees, yeah. But in Hungarian we just say két fa. And back to these things, or fa előtt, so in front of the tree, yeah. So in front of the tree. Okay, so if you use these words or any other words like this, then you will see it behind the thing or after the thing that you refer to. So back to here. So they are painted red. Where is this? So festve. So fest is to paint. Yeah, it's here. And festve is an adverb, so painted in this case. It's not past tense, it's like another way of making it an adverb, yeah. So festve, and piros is red, and valamilyenre fest valamit. Yeah? So you can say valamilyenre fest valamit. Yeah? So to paint something as something or to something, I don't know in English, so excuse me, but so if like I think how would you say I paint my car red. So basically to paint something and you something, maybe you do just avoid this. So I show you an example. So fehérre festem a kocsimat. Yeah, so I paint my car to red, or you just say red, not red, sorry, fehér is white. Yeah? So I paint my car white. Yeah. So in this case, the thing that you paint into some color, you should use re. Yeah. So that's what's happening here. Fehérre, and then festem a kocsimat. Yeah. So I paint a kocsimat, my car. That's a direct object. Yeah, that's what's happening here. So here pirosra van festve, so they are painted red. Yeah. Hogyha azzal meglocsollak, so ha is if, yeah. Hogyha, yeah, so in some instances we would say hogyha, I can't really say when, it's more about like even more conditional, but just believe me, so this is if. And azzal, so if you go down here, so what I want to show az is either the or that. In this case it will be that, and vel is with. Yeah, and this Hungarian suffix assimilates the last consonant. So if you put it on that, so with that, it will be az, val, but we don't say val, we say azzal. So it will be a double Z because it assimilates, yeah? So it says, sorry to scroll up and down too much. So if I water you with that, so hogyha azzal meglocsollak, so meglocsollak. So locsol is the verb, the stem, to water. Meg is a kind of a finishment prefix, just believe me, later, maybe in another video we will speak more about that. But this locsolás suffix is interesting, yeah? Because usually if you say that I do something, it will be ok, ek, ök, if it's indefinite, yeah? So szeretek, ülök, so I love, I sit, or iszok, yeah, so I drink, yeah? And if you say laklak, it's a difference. So you may know the expression szeretlek, I love you. So we only use this laklak suffix if I am the subject, I do the act, and I do it with you. So do it to you, yeah? So I love you. So if I love her, then I don't use this laklak, yeah? Even though I do the act, but not with you, but her. So, for example, this right circle set, this is a Venn diagram, so this left set represents when I am the subject, I do the act. So, for example, szeretek futni. I will make it bigger for you guys, so you can see. So, szeretek futni. I love running, or I like running. Szeretem Erikát. I love Erika. Szeretem őt. I love her or him. Szeretem őket. I love them. Szeretem a sört. I love beer. So, yeah, the beer, but in English it would be weird to say I love the beer, so I love beer, yeah? But if you look at the common cross-section with you or you all as a direct objects, so téged or titeket, then you will need to use laklak instead of ok, ek, ök, or if it's definite, yeah? So szeretlek, which means I love you. Szeretlek téged is also I love you, both of them the singular version you, yeah? And szeretlek titeket is I love you all. What happens that basically if you speak singular, you can omit téged, because laklak is already meaning that, and we will think that, okay, it's about just you singular, yeah? And you only need to really say the pronoun titeket if you want to speak about you all. But téged, which is like you singular, you can omit if you want. If you really want to be specific, or sometimes you want to be even more specific, you would say téged, but usually you would just say szeretlek, yeah? But if you speak to you all, to more people, then you should say szeretlek titeket, yeah? So if I have 2 kids, I would say them szeretlek titeket, yeah? But if I only like one, then I would say szeretlek téged, so I point on that one that I like, and the other one that I hate, I would say utállak téged, yeah? So I hate you. But I would never do that, yeah? I would say utállak titeket, so I hate you guys. Okay, so meglocsolak, I water you. And yeah, it's an implied téged. So back here, and elmehetsz hágyesre. So it's an interesting structure here. So I don't know if you recognize it, but this is to go, megy, yeah? So megy is an irregular verb. Basically the stem many times is just me, yeah? And we will put another suffix on it, hot hat, which I will tell you just in a minute. And the S is like you indefinite conjugation, and L is a prefix that we don't care about for now, yeah? So if I go down here, so megy is to go, hot hat, this is representing can or may. So if you speak, if you want to translate from English to Hungarian, beware that sometimes, many times it will be not hot hat. So we are many ways to express things that it will be can or may in English, yeah? But usually if you use can as a possibility or allowing something, it will be hot hat many times. So for example, elmehetsz, you may go, so you are allowed to leave, yeah? So it's kind of like that. So this hot hat suffix, yeah? And hát is well, yeah? So it's not like good well, or not like the well where you can take water from. It's like well, hát, yeah? So hát. And GYES is an acronym for maternity leave, yeah? So I don't know it's not really interesting. I don't know what is it standing for, but basically it's maternity leave, yeah? So going back to the poem, and also in the comments, tell me if I speak too long about things or I digress too much, yeah? I want to know. Now I'm just keeping simple. Things simple, but if you are like saying it's awful, it's bad, then I will try to make it more succinct. Okay, so elmehetsz hágyesre. Well, you may go to maternity leave, yeah? So that's what happens. So again, lábam között 2 tojás, pirosra van festve, hogyha azzal meglocsollak, elmehetsz hágyesre. Like I told you, we have these cheeky poems, yeah? Okay, you wouldn't tell it to your mother, I hope. Okay, so, and then we can speak just a cultural thing. So, what do you think, how long is maternity leave in Hungary? Milyen hosszú Magyarországon a GYES? Just take a guess, and take a big one, yeah? Okay, you have it. So now I will tell you. So it's 3 years, 3 év, yeah? But I heard that it's like kind of like this is the thing in like countries that were connected to the Soviet Union, you know, like back then we were occupied by the Soviets. And I heard an Ukrainian student of mine years ago told me that they even have 6 years of maternity leave, if I remember correctly. And the other day I just spoke with a student who is from Slovakia, and in Slovakia they might have the same thing, like at least when he was a kid, the people had like 3 years of maternity leave, yeah? But to show you how does it work, because it's not like, oh, you can be 3 years on maternity leave and you get a lot of money and you can stay at home. So I will show you how does it work. I didn't even know much about this system. I just had to ask a friend of mine who had just had a kid, and she told me about it. But like I said, be careful. I didn't really look into it. How is it really working and everything? She just gave me an outline, and that's what I gave to you. So feel free to double check anything I say. So basically, there are these three acronyms that two of them I didn't really know. I heard of it sometimes, but like an average person wouldn't know. Everybody just call it GYES, yeah? So this is the acronym. But basically, from the megszületéstől körülbelül 168. napig, so from being born around about until the 68 days of the baby's life, they will have this child. And here, the mother gets her previous salary is 85%, the brutto, yeah? So before taxes, and then 85%. So basically, they get better money now than when they worked, yeah? So jobb mint a fizu, és nem dolgozhatsz. Yeah, so, and they can't work at this time. So they are not allowed to work if they want to take this money, I think, yeah? Anyways, so fizu is like a slang for fizetés. So fizetés is salary, and fizu is the slang for that. So yeah, mikor jön a fizud? When will your salary come? Mikor jön a fizud? Yeah. So okay, getting back to the cultural thing. So this is called csád, and when they get their normal salary when they are not pregnant and working, basically they get less. I don't know how much is the tax, but my friend told me if you earn 1 million forints brutto, so before taxes, which is much, I have to say to that, then during this time you will get 850,000 forints, and when you're working, actually maybe it will be like 650, 1700, something like that. I think she mentioned that, yeah? So, and it seems kind of right, the number. Yeah, and brutto and netto. So netto is after taxes, what you get, so basically what you get, and brutto is before taxes, yeah? And pensioner funds and so on. So after you withdraw or deduct everything, you get the netto. And then we have GYED, a 168. naptól a baba 2 éves koráig. Baba, or it's not baba when the kid is, baba is baby, yes, so it's not a 2-year-old baby, it's like a real kid, but anyways. So from the day 168 until the baby or the kid turns to 2 years old, they will have the GYED, which is the all-time minimum wage is double, and the 70% of that, yeah? So basically, a mindenkori minimálbér, so I would say, a mindenkori minimálbér. So minimálbér is minimum wage, yeah? And so they get this amount of money after the taxes, yeah? So my friend told me now it's about like 284,000 forints, so 2,800, no, 280,000, 4,000 forints, sorry. So, and ha az anyuka dolgozni akar, kapja ezt is. So if the mother wants to work, she also gets this. So she gets her salary and this one. So this is a really good thing. But if she can't work because she had to take care of the kid, then it's really not much, especially if you have to pay rent. If you have your own apartment with a real kid, it's still not much. I know it's better than US, where they basically get nothing from the government, I know. But still, you need to work. So it's not like everything is so good here. So you still, most mothers have to go to work if they don't have a husband that can support them, yeah, or a family or anything, or if they don't have any money in the bank to support them for that period, yeah. And then there is GYES, and GYES is everybody knows. So basically, when average Hungarian says GYES, they will think about maternity leave for the 3 years, yeah. So we don't really know about the other things, yeah, which I showed you. For example, I didn't know much about that. So 2 évestől 3 évesig, so from 2 years old until 3 years old, they get 25.650 forintot. So basically they get 25,650 forints, which is really nothing, yeah? So it's less than $100. But at least it's something, I know, but you can't really stay at home and support the kid with that money, or even yourself, yeah? Okay, let's look at 2 other poems now. The video is getting long. I hope it's not boring, but I will go on anyways. So, húsvét táján édes szokás, a vödörrel locsolkodás. Nálam is van szagos kölni, ha rádöntöm, meg fogsz ölni. So, around Easter time, it is a sweet habit, watering with the bucket. I also have a smelly cologne on me. If I pour it onto you, will you kill me? Yeah? So basically, húsvét, I told you, so it's Easter, literally taking away the meat or just meat. Édes is sweet. Just for information, édesség is like dessert or sweets, yeah? And szokás is habit, custom, tradition. And táján is around something in time, so around Christmas time. But it's a bit, I don't say it's oldish, but I would rather say tájékán. So if you want to use this expression, use this, valami tájékán. So húsvét tájékán, around Easter time. Karácsony tájékán, around Christmas time. So that's what's happening here. A vödörrel locsolkodás. So locsolkodás, I already showed you, is the noun, the act of watering, this habit, yeah? And vödör is, I will go down, vödör is bucket, and vödörvel, which we don't say, we say vödörrel with a bucket, yeah? So basically, the vel, the V, assimilates to an R. Yeah, so vödörrel, with a bucket, or with bucket, yeah? And nálam is on me. So be careful with this kind of pronouns, or even just the meaning of the suffixes, because it comes from the suffix na, nil, yeah? What happens here, that these suffixes and pronouns can have a wide range of meanings. And it's outside of the scope of this video, but don't remember it on me. Maybe it will be at me in another expression, or in me. So it's always about the phrasal verb, what you use and do, yeah? So here it means on me. So for example, van nálam pénz, I have money on me, or there's money on me. I think that's how you translate it, or I have money with me. That's how it means, yeah? So van nálam pénz. Or for example, now I just show you with the suffix, 5000 forint van Attilánál. So Attila has 5,000 forints on him or with him, yeah? There's 5,000 forints on Attila, with Attila. I think that's how you should translate it, yeah? Or let me know in the comments if it's wrong, yeah? Or you can say Péternél fegyver van, which you would say in a different way in English. You would say Peter has a gun, or Peter's armed, or maybe you would say Peter has a gun on him, yeah? Or if you see somebody with a gun, I know in US it's normal, oh, he has the gun, it's okay. But if you see somebody with a gun in Hungary, you will like shout and call police. You would say, fegyver van nála, he has a gun, he's armed, yeah? So be careful with that guy. Okay, so back to here. So I just want to show you what happened here grammatically. So nálam is van szagos kölni. So I have also, so it's not on me, it's not that it's poured or sprayed on me, yeah? So I mean that I have a container of cologne with me, and szagos is not container. I just wanted to show you that this is what I have. So szagos means smelly. And is also or two, yeah? So if we go back here, szag is a smell, like a noun. So what's the smell? Mi ez a szag, what's the smell? I write it down so you can. Mi ez a szag, actually you would say this. So I mean, Hungarians say this, but I think in English, what's this smell? Usually you use that when we would think this. So anyways, What's this smell? Usually would say, what's that smell, I think, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, szagos is smelly, but we don't really use that word much, yeah, so be careful. I prefer büdös, which is, so szagos and büdös means like smelly, a bad smell. Szagos sometimes maybe can be a bit less bad, so oh yeah, it's bad, but it's not really that awful. Büdös is like really an awful smell, yeah. And önt is to pour, yeah, so like when you, can I pour you a glass of water? Önthetek egy kis, öntetek egy pohár vizet, öntetek egy pohár vizet. Can I pour you a glass of water? Okay, so that's what happened here. Now we go to another one, it's a short one. Árokparton döglött ló, én vagyok a locsoló. Yeah, so it rhymes. So basically it means that on a ditch, on the coast of the ditch, there's a dead horse. I am the waterer, the person who comes to water you. Yeah, so árok is ditch, part is coast, the edge of any kind of water. Yeah, like a lake or sea, ocean, and so on. Or árokpart, ditch of the coast of the ditch. And döglött is dead, but it's only used for animal. Yeah, and it's still not nice. So when you want to be like tactful, speaking about somebody's dead animal, I wouldn't use döglött. Yeah, so I would use halott, or elhunyt is passed away. So elhuny is to pass away. Yeah, and elhunyt is like passed away, like an adjective. Yeah, so you can also use it as a verb. So he passed away, or the passed away dog. So az elhunyt kutya. Yeah. Anyways, what I wanted to say. Okay, so döglött, it's not a nice thing to say. So usually I would avoid that, but here they want it to be a bit funny, and sometimes you can say that. Yeah. So döglött ló, ló is horse. Yeah. And én, I, vagyok is I am. So usually én is redundant. You usually don't want to use the pronouns. You just say vagyok. But here you want to emphasize that én vagyok a locsoló. Yeah. And also because you kind of like expand the waterer to come to your place, and yeah, I am the waterer in this case. We emphasize that, yeah. And yeah, locsoló is the waterer person, or also it means the watering can. I showed you before. Okay. The next one is cheeky, again, sexually filled. So, van nekem egy kis locsolóm, kölni nincsen benne. Ha én azt most elővenném, nagy röhögés lenne. So, I have a little water hose, or like locsoló is can, but like, yeah, so you basically think about that protruding thing of the water can, or maybe you can think about a little water hose, but usually we would say schlag, yeah? So we don't really use locsoló for a schlag water hose, but here it's kind of like referring to that, yeah? So I have a little water hose, there isn't any cologne in it. If I took that out, there would be a big laughter. So van nekem egy kis locsolóm, so I have a little water hose, kölni nincsen benne, so kölni is cologne, nincsen is the opposite of van, so one is there is, nincs is there isn't, yeah, or yeah, so, and benne is in it, yeah, so in this case, so there isn't any cologne in it. If I took that out, so there's the funny thing, and it's useful for you to know. So you may recognize Hungarian when that Hungarian speaks English, of course by the accent. You may hear also mine. But a typical grammar mistake that we make, that we speak like, if I would take this out, there would be a big laughter. In English it's incorrect, yeah? But in Hungarian we put the would suffix in both clauses, yeah? So this né, or name is I would, yeah? So előven name I would, this is the suffix for would, yeah? And lenne is like ne is like it would, yeah. So it would be. So because lenne is it would be, yeah. So if I would take that out, there would be a big left there, yeah. So basically we say would in both cases, while in English you say in the first in the part of if past tense. So if I took that out, there would be a big left there. So keep in mind, yeah, when you learn about conditional. Okay, so ha is if, én is I, az is that, azt is direct object, that most is now, and vesz is to take, and elő is take, in this take out. So elővesz is to take out something, yeah? And nagy is big, röhög is laugh, and röhögés is laughter, and lenne is it would be. So everything is here, yes? So azt is that, as direct object, and so on. And I think I finished. No, I have one more. So, egy gondolat bánt engemet, elfeledtem a versemet. So, one thought bothers me, I forgot my poem. Yeah? So, gondolat is thought or idea. Yeah? Bánt valami valakit. So, something hurts somebody. Yeah, so somebody is valaki, and valakit is direct object, somebody. So for example, you can see egy okay, I'll show you something. So engem is the direct object, me. So what happens here? So if you take a look at this expression, so egy gondolat bántja Pétert, yeah? So poor Peter has a lot of things to do today. So one thought bothers Peter, yeah? So you can see the the sign of direct object on Peter, yeah? So if you don't know about accusative and direct objects, again, I'm not going to go into that today. Maybe in the future I will do a video about that. But if you are familiar about that structure or grammatical mode, then I help you to understand it a bit more. So, egy gondolat bántja Péter, so basically one thing, so that one thought is the subject, bothers Peter, so Peter is the direct object, and it's marked with a T, yeah? But if you say pronouns like me, so one thought bothers me, then you need pronouns, and in this case, me will be, where is it, sorry, engem, yeah? So engem is the direct object, me. And I show you, so direct object, me is engem, téged, őt, minket, titeket, őket, yeah? So me, so direct object me, direct object you, direct object him, her, direct object us, direct object you all, and direct object them, yeah? And the weird thing that engem and téged doesn't have a T, so it's just arbitrary, there is no reason for it. And actually it's a mistake to say engemet. It sounds like uneducated or like countryside, yeah? So in the countryside or maybe uneducated people would say engemet or tégedet, but it's really oldish, and you have, I don't want to be judgy, but if I hear something like this, it's kind of like, okay, this person is not that bright or not that educated, yeah? Maybe they are intelligent, but not that educated. It's two different things. Anyway, so engemet is wrong, and tégedet is wrong, yeah? So you should say engem and téged, but these poems are like also like a bit poetic, so you can say these things, also make it a bit funnier to say differently than it's supposed to be, and also maybe it's odd, and back then maybe they said, I think back then they said engemet, yeah? Elfeledtem a versemet. So elfeled, it's again used an old form of to forget, yeah? Because I show you. So elfelejt is to forget, but the old form is elfeled. So to forget, old use, yeah? So don't use that one, yeah? So elfeled, so elfelejt, yeah? So Igen, szóval elfelejt, to forget, and elfelejtettem, I forgot, yeah, so, but the poem uses the old form, so elfeled and elfeledtem, that's what it say, so, where we are, so elfeledtem a versemet, so my poem, yeah, so a versemet, yeah, so vers is poem, my poem is a versem, and the direct object my poem is a versemet. And I think that's it for today. No, sorry, again, I'm lying. There is one more. Felnézek az égre, a versemnek vége. I look up at the sky, my poem ends. So it like doesn't really do anything about watering or anything. It's just a funny poem for me, at least for me. So néz is to watch. Up, vagy fel is up, and felnézek is I watch. I look up, yeah. So it's not just watch, but also to look. And actually, I look up at the sky. Az ég, so ég is sky, and be careful, it also means to burn, yeah, but here it means the sky. And égre is at the sky. Az égre is at the sky in this case, but again, don't memorize re as at, because it's always about the expression, yeah? So you need to know the context and what is the expression. So felnézek az égre, I look up at the sky, a versemnek vége. My poem ends, yeah? So vége van valaminek, so something has an end or something stops, yeah? And this one is also a good site for you guys. So here you can take a look at funny watering poems. So vicces is funny. So funny watering poems. That's where I took my ideas, and there are much more. So if you want to practice, just go and use these. Yeah. Okay. So I think I will end my video. It's 1 hour long now. Maybe I will cut just a bit, not much. So thanks. Let me know if you liked it, and also like it if you like it, and check out my Patreon, which you can find again. I will show you. I'm really slow today, sorry. HumFun. You can find it on Patreon as HumFun. Yeah, thanks.